For a good while now, and more so recently, the Sun has been highly active, and that heightened activity has been directly affecting the Earth's magnetosphere. The electromagnetic charge and overall vibration of the Sun is very high now and climbing higher, in addition to the increase in the number of very powerful solar flares. This activity affects the vibration and electromagnetic charge of the Earth, which then affects all living beings on the planet. All of this activity is a part of the increasing vibrations occurring throughout our universe, including vibrational lifts to all planets and star systems, as well as our own. You have it in your hands how the coming years will develop. Your decisions, your behavior, and your vibration are subject to change, and all listen to the sound of your heart. It's the good tone that counts, because a person who has largely freed himself from his demons vibrates in the amplitude that ensures a harmonious transition. The leap into the new dimension of being can be expected with great joy or accompanied by fears. So many new things, so many unexpected things are ahead. Committing to change wholeheartedly is the challenge you face now. It depends on the corresponding inner constitution of the individual, which means the finer and purer the basic vibration of a person is, the smoother the transition to the new earth will be. Often, it may appear to us that others are the cause of our suffering. This would be possible only if we are victims, without control of everything we experience. If we actually are sovereign beings and expressions of the consciousness that creates everything, then we are the source of our experiences, and it is possible for us to realize how we've been creating our conditions. Opening our awareness to our physical problems and recognizing their symbolic significance for our emotional distress can be the path to healing ourselves. It requires opening our heart in compassion and forgiveness for ourselves and everyone we blame for our condition. We have manifested our aches and pains from our fears and judgmentalness. If we can resolve and release all of this and see the light of the Creator in everyone involved, we can dissolve our trauma, accept our situation as our own creation, and transform our perspective with confidence and love. We can move forward with joy in our lives as we feel the guidance that comes to us through the vibrations of our heart. It is helpful that at this point, many of us come to realize that everything is energy. So, with this awareness, we know that when there is some type of energy shift happening, everything and everyone is affected by it on some level. How else is the solar activity affecting us? On a global level, the Earth is experiencing potent purges and movements that are assisting her in preparing for the rapidly evolving consciousness of all her citizens. This process is not all butterflies and rainbows, as we've seen these past few months with the intense weather patterns, fires, political landscape, and protests regarding outdated institutions, to name just a few. However, it is all a part of a healing process that's ushering us into a higher global state of consciousness. since we are all interconnected. We as a collective, along with the Earth, are all evolving together. On a personal level, many of us are also experiencing a great deal of physical and emotional purging that are pushing us to embrace a higher state of being. Right now, the lessons, teachings, and gifts we were meant to gain from this and all other lives, the languages, levels, and dimensions of our consciousness. Starting from our first point of conception, are being taken on at a highly accelerated rate. Remember the days when we were given the opportunity to learn our lessons over long, drawn-out periods of time. We are now processing our personal lessons far more quickly. The sooner we learn the lessons we were meant to learn, the sooner we can shift out of the patterns, keeping us from incurring a higher state of consciousness. Even though at times we may feel the current changes are a little too much for us to handle, it's important to understand that our spirit knew prior to coming into this physical existence that we would do everything in our power to remember the divine magnificence within ourselves and others. And that through this remembrance, we would usher in a highly evolved existence based on love, kindness, and respect for all life, despite the change that can evolve. What is important is that you react positively and openly to the very concrete changes that result from your transformation, that you do not block when it matters, but remain capable of acting and react, that you act where you can should act, and that you integrate that your inner transformational ways has consequences on the outside. Everything starts with and in you. Be aware, it's your vibration, it's your tone, the sound of your soul that matters now, because that's how you measure where you stand and how deeply you've penetrated to yourself. True transformational work always involves big changes, as a torrent takes everything that crosses its course. So, in the light of transformation, everything that blocks your flow of life is swept away, and that means really going through the issues and truly confronting yourself. Many people freeze when they are asked to jump, and they stand rooted to the ground when fate invites them to actively rebuild their lives. This leads to frustration and even self-abandonment. Living with pain and suffering is not necessary. It is all self-created by dwelling on some form of negative energy that we hold in our bodies. Anything that gives us discomfort deserves our attention. We would be experiencing it only if we have invited it into our presence with our vibratory resonance. It does not matter how this came about, whether we inherited it or created it in this life. If we continue to hold on to it and do not realize the effect it is having on us, our deepest consciousness provides physical defects. That prompts us to pay attention to the thoughts and feelings that keep us from radiating love and joy in the presence of everyone and everything.